myself have been guilty of this in the past. And it's because I can usually read a vibe off of somebody, and if I read a bad vibe off of somebody, I don't even give them a chance. At least that's how I used to be. But in this day and age, it's a little crazy.
Tell everybody what you have to say about being thick and luscious and in shape.
You know what? Don't judge a book by its cover. It's not about how you look on the outside, it's about how you feel on the inside.
இருவரி புதையல் என்ற தலைப்பில் இன்றைக்கு நான் ஒரு திருக்குறளை பற்றி சிந்திக்கிறேன். இப்போ பலாப்பழம் இருக்கிறது. அது பார்வைக்கு எப்படி இருக்கிறதுனாக்கா சொரசொரப்பா அழகு இருக்கு.
Hi, this is Corey speaking, and today I'm going to talk to you about judging people by their cover. There are two meanings for the expression, don't judge a book by its cover. The first meaning is literal. Literal as in, when you read a book and you look at its cover, chances are if the cover doesn't look good, the inside of the book won't be as good. The second meaning refers to people's appearance as a first glance at an individual. For example, if you own a Canadian Tire store and you see a group of teenagers enter your store, the automatic thing that you see in these kids is that they're going to steal your merchandise. Now, this is a fact because you hear a lot on the news that most of the five-finger discounts are caused by teenagers. But not everybody thinks this way. Less than 25% of the Earth's population doesn't judge a book by its cover, or a person by their cover. Most people will just see the teenagers as good kids who do good in school and wouldn't hurt anybody, or wouldn't steal anything. It is by giving an opinion on somebody that makes it wrong. Just because a person looks a certain way doesn't mean that whatever he looks like, that's what he is. Right, so now that we know the meaning of don't judge a book by its cover, let's look at another example from a little site I like to call YouTube.
How old are you, Susan?
I am 47. And that's just one side of me.
Okay.
I dreamed a dream in time gone by.
Didn't expect that, did you? Did you? No.
I dreamed that love would never die. I dreamed that God would be I had a dream like life would be. So different from this hell I'm living. So different now from what it seems.
Hello.
Hey, come back here.
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much, Susan. Piers.
Without a doubt, that was the biggest surprise I have had in 3 years on this show. When you stood there with that cheeky grin and said, I want to be like Elaine Page, everyone was laughing at you. No one is laughing now. That was stunning. An incredible performance.
Okay, moment of truth. Piers, yes or no?
The biggest yes I have ever given anybody.
Amanda?
Yes, definitely.
Brilliant. Amanda, you too!
Susan Boyle, you can go back to the village with your head held high. It's 3 yeses.
So basically what happened here was that the judges prejudged her, and so did the audience. The audience and the judges were thinking that as soon as she walked up on that stage, she wasn't going to sing good at all. Just like any other contestant on the show, She claimed that she could sing well and was gonna win the competition. Now, even though she didn't win the competition in the end, she still was one of the only people to ever, ever give a reaction like this to Simon Cowell. I was searching through Google and I found a lot of information on yahooanswers.com about how people deal with judging people by their cover. And you know what? It turns out that most of the people who judge people by a cover are people who had past experiences in their life in which it actually occurred. Now, I'm Quebecois, and apparently Quebecers love pea soup. And you know what? I love pea soup. I eat pea soup at least twice a week. Now, judging a person by their cover can't always be a bad thing. It could also be a good thing. Like if you would see an Asian person, you would automatically think that that Asian person is really good in math. Or if you saw a British man, you'd automatically think that he is really good in English. Now here's another video from YouTube that I found, which shows what people's usual opinion is on others. Okay, so how does any of this relate to anything that we learned in class? Well, the main point was that when Edward Scissorhand was coming into the new town, he really looked different. People prejudged him, saw him as a monster, instead of seeing him as just a normal person living up in a dark and scary castle. Imagine if there was a second Edward Scissorhand movie, and a completely different person who looked exactly like Edward Scissorhand would come into the town. Would people see him as a really good hairdresser? That is the question that we must all think about. It's all about experiences. If none of these experiences would have happened, no one would have an opinion on anybody. This has been Corey saying, don't judge a book by its cover.